What is going on, Jet fans? Matt O'Leary back with another video. It's Friday afternoon, and we have some updates for you on this New York Jets coaching staff. We will start with a positional coach staying with the New York Jets, and that is Shawn Jefferson, the wide receiver coach who will remain with the New York Jets. Now, he was the wide receiver coach for the Jets last year in 2024, and also was here previously in 2019 and 2020 under Adam Gase. He has been a longtime wide receiver coach in this league. He's a former player. This is good. Take note, because there's going to be a lot of talk about former player from 1991 through 2003. I think a big reason for this is the relationship that Jefferson and Garrett Wilson have. They get along really well. And you had this quote from training camp last year from wide receiver coach Shawn Jefferson. But I think Garrett and I are competitive. Our competitiveness, we share that alike. He's very intense. I'm very intense as well. I'm very fortunate that I coach a guy that has the same mindset that I do, because I'm a go-getter. He's definitely a go-getter. I'll give you an example. We were getting ready to scrimmage Washington out there. He comes up to me on Monday. He says, "Turn me loose Thursday. Turn me loose." I said, "You expletive got it. Let's go." I just absolutely love it. Every day he's ready to go. It's a joy. I think clearly Garrett Wilson likes Shawn Jefferson, and if that keeps Garrett Wilson happy, I am good with that. And I have no issues with the Jets wide receiver play while he was here. I think he was fine. It's not I'm not going to put Shawn Jefferson, or rather vice versa. I'm not going to put Malachi Corley on Shawn Jefferson. I don't think it's Shawn Jefferson's fault that Malachi Corley wasn't able to see the field. I don't know whose problem that is, but did a good job with Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson had one of his best years of his career, so I'm fine with this. All right, to the defensive side of the ball we go. The Jets are hiring Aaron Curry as their linebacker coach. He has been the Steelers' inside linebacker coach for the last 2 years. He was an assistant with Seattle from 2019 through 2022. And guess what? He played for the Seattle Seahawks from 2009 through 2011. Another former player. Here's some guys that he's worked with, inside linebackers, who's played pretty well over the last couple of years. Landon Roberts, Patrick Queen, Quan Alexander, and maybe the most impressive one in Peyton Wilson, who was a third-round rookie this past year, who they got to contribute in year one. And he played pretty well, all things considered, and played around 500 snaps. So getting someone in the mid-rounds to come in and contribute on your defense and play well right away, that's a good sign. This one not totally official yet, but the Jets are expected to hire Chris Harris as a defensive pass game coordinator and back coach, or defensive backs coach. One of those two. He was with the Tennessee Titans the last 2 years. Had the second fewest passing yards against this past season. If you're catching on, Chris Harris, a former NFL player. He was kind of a holdover from the Mike Vrabel staff, so his contract just expired there in Tennessee. But the expectation is that he will have a similar role with the New York Jets. So defensive pass game coordinator would be my assumption. Some sort of defensive backs coach, whether it be corner, defensive back, safety, he'll be involved in some capacity in that area, and another former player. So today alone, that is 3 former players hired by the New York Jets. You could also assume that David Blau is going to be the quarterback coach. We got a Tanner Engstrand update that everyone on the beat's it's all but official. Not that Tanner Engstrand was a former player, but it's a lot of guys who have played in this league that is being added to this New York Jets coaching staff. And that was the recipe in Detroit, where Aaron Glenn just came from. Glenn himself is a former player. Dan Campbell, the head coach, a former player. Mark Brunell was on that staff. Antoine Randall was on that staff. And on and on and on it goes with all the different former players. And a reason why I think this not guaranteed that it's going to be efficient, but something that I think could work, is they are going to have the respect of the guys in the locker room, because they'll go, if Garrett Wilson, for example, can go, this guy played in the league and was successful in the league. And you could say that about every single one of these guys on the list, that they know what it takes to play in the NFL because they've done it themselves. And the one who's done it at the highest level, arguably, is the head coach in Aaron Glenn, who is a multi-time Pro Bowler and on a lot of really good football teams, and well respected, played in the league for a long time. Was an undersized player who, carved out a role for himself and had a really nice long career. So the staff is starting to come together. We'll update you through the weekend as more information begins to come out. But here are the latest updates from today. Let me know your thoughts. I'm Matt O'Leary. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll catch you next time.